Ethan Hawke is a child murderer slash maybe pedophile? Yeah, The Black Phone. Let's give it a watch. Hello everybody, my name is Kevin Halden and welcome back to Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all of your news, reviews and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the lower end of the scale. And this is a movie I've been dying to watch since that first trailer dropped. Ethan Hawke playing a creepy, clown-looking, child-murdering person. I love me some Ethan Hawke, and I love me some Ethan Hawke when he takes a bit of a turn, does something a little bit different, and this did look very different. The Black Phone. Blumhouse are doing a really good job right now with everything they do, and this is a Joe Hill short story that's been adapted into a movie. Joe Hill, if you don't know, is the son of Stephen King. So, I mean, that's pedigree right there. That's pedigree all day. But what I'm going to ask you is to, first of all, do all that other good stuff that every YouTuber out there asks you to do. And that is to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. We are well on our way to 1,000 subscribers, but we would love to get there sooner rather than later. The notification bell will also let you know whenever I drop a new episode, whether it be an interview, a review, or anything else. We've got loads of episodes, loads of interviews, loads of reviews, everything out there. I've got an interview coming very soon with Roland Manookian, who, if you've seen the Foot Soldier franchise, you know who that guy is. You've seen any franchise, any British film, you know who Roland Manookian is. And he comes on board to talk about his movie that's coming out later this year, The Sun Also Rises. But enough of all that, let's talk about The Black Phone. And once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we are going to be doing what I normally do, and that is to talk about the plot of this movie, without spoilers of course. Then I will move into the cast and the crew of this movie and the characters of this movie. Then I will talk about what I liked and what I didn't like, and I will say it's a touch mixed bag on this one. And then I will give you my Nerdly Out Loud rating, which is the official rating of nerdly.co.uk. You will notice that I've changed it up for this episode. That's because I believe I'm the best. Nah, I'm joking. It's not the official rating of nerdly.co.uk. It's just my rating. We all have our own differing opinions, which is what's so good about the website. Check the website out. Go and see the reviews. There will be a Black Phone review on there from some other nerdly freelance writer that nobody knows and nobody cares about, because it's not me. Sorry, Phil. I keep just getting the ego train on the go and thinking I'm the best. I'm sorry, Phil. So The Black Phone is the story of young Finney. Finney is a 13-year-old, I think he's described as shy, but very intelligent 13-year-old. But it's a story of him. We're back in the 70s. We love a good period piece. We love it when we go back to these eras. And he lives in this little town that has a little bit of a missing child problem, so it's kind of like Santa Carla, I guess. These kids are all going missing, and there's a little bit of a myth about a man called the Grabber. Finney one day is captured by the Grabber, locked in the basement, and he's now there, and he's wondering if he's going to be tortured and all this kind of thing. On the wall, there is a black phone, the titular black phone, and he's told by the Grabber that it doesn't work, but it kind of does work a little bit, maybe, I'm not sure. That's up to you to decide. But that is the basic premise of the movie. The Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke, has captured this kid. He's going to kill him at some point, but he wants to mess about with him first. And I don't mean mess about in a weird kiddie fiddling kind of way. I mean mess about, play with him. That was another wrong way of saying it. He's gonna kill him, but he wants to toy with him first, I guess. Yeah, let's move on before this gets really out of whack. So Finney starts receiving phone calls when he's in the basement on a phone that apparently doesn't work and isn't connected to anything, but he starts receiving phone calls from previous children who have inhabited the basement. It's kind of getting into spoiler territory, but they're sort of trying to help him, which is cool. And I'll tell you what, let's just move into the cast and the crew because I don't want to spoil anything. Starting with the kids, because there are some really, really talented little kids in this movie. Mason Thomas as Finney is pretty fantastic. It's been a while since I've seen a leading cast of kids that haven't annoyed me, because they just tend to annoy you. You know, they get the Haley Joel Osments about them. Mason Thames as Finney and Madeline McGraw as his sister Gwen are both fantastic. They're both putting in really good performance, especially Madeline. Her role is very understated, but Jesus, is she putting in a performance. Kind of reminds me of Super 8 with Elle Fanning. Like, she puts in a great role and it's just like, it doesn't get enough attention. Both these kids are brilliant. Happy to say that. Ethan Hawke as the Grabber is eerie as shit, scary as shit, wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. He's playing this role like he's not hamming it up, he's not doing too little. He is sitting right on the precipice of almost silly, but makes it work. Like Tim Curry in the original It. I don't care what people say. Everybody says he goes over the top and he's hamming it up. I don't think Tim Curry did ham it up as Pennywise. I thought he was a wonderful villain, a wonderful clown villain. And I guess that's the only thing I can liken this to, but Ethan Hawke isn't necessarily playing a clown like Pennywise, but he's playing this sort of subdued character that you can tell, even though you don't get a lot of backstory on who the Grabber is, you can tell he's been through some gnarly shit, and it has messed him up to no end. But we don't really get a build on that, and that's something that we'll talk about in the next section. Jeremy Davies is an actor that I love. I loved him in Lost. I loved him in The Secretary. Big fan of Jeremy Davies. Always have been. He's not doing a great deal in this film. He's kind of just the drunken asshole father of the two kids, but he plays it well enough to make me not hate him, although I don't like him. He's good. He's a good actor though, so I'll take it. There are a couple of scenes that are very hard to watch with him and the kids. James Ransone is in this movie. I'm a big fan of James Ransone. I've talked about him before on this channel. Completely underutilized in this film. So much better than what's going on in this film. And his character is kind of just made out to be an absolute bumbling idiot. Really wanted more from him. I guess he's doing the best he could with the role. I just kind of thought, what is the point in this character and why is he such an idiot? But I do like James Ransone, so yeah. What I did and didn't like, I really like the fact that you don't know who the Grabber is. I really like the fact that you don't get a backstory for him. I really like the fact that we don't really know where he's going or where he's been. I love all of that. However, I really hate that you don't know who the Grabber is. I really hate the fact that you don't have a backstory. Less is always more, and more is sometimes less. You know what I mean? Like, it's a strange one, because director Scott Derickson and Ethan Hawke, you can tell that they've worked together on this character. You can tell that Ethan Hawke has decided not to give too much away, and he doesn't want you to know who this character is, because it's kind of like that Michael Myers thing, that Jason Voorhees thing, especially in the first movies, when you don't really know who they are, they just are. You know, I liked that about this movie, but I also kind of wanted a little bit more. I'm guaranteeing that we get a prequel to this, we get a spin-off from this. It's done really well, so we're gonna get something else from it. I love the whole phone call aspect of it. Again, I don't really want to get too much into it, but he is getting phone calls from previous inhabitants or kids of this basement who are kind of trying to help him, but they only give him little bits and pieces as and when he needs it. And those little bits and pieces form a bigger jigsaw puzzle. And I really love that concept. I don't really think I've seen it done in a movie like this before, which is great because we want to see new things. And I think Derickson and I think Joe Hill as the writer, and I think everyone involved has done a great job of piecing that together. The jump scares in places are pretty jumpy. Like, it doesn't rely on jump scares, and it kind of does that thing of The Conjuring, the James Wan movie. Like, James Wan likes to build up and make you think something's going to happen, but then something doesn't happen, but then it does happen. You know, like, he's not one for building tension all the time. Sometimes he just wants to hit you in the face with something. This movie does that a couple of times, does it very well. I think the kids, I've already spoken about them, are brilliant. Both the brother and sister knock it out the park for me, and it really pays off when you get a scene near the end. Again, no spoilers, but you get this little scene where she sees him, he sees her, and you buy these kids as brother and sister. I think they've done a great job. My final rating of this movie just sits below a 4. It's probably a 3.5, maybe a 3.8. I don't know. It's not quite a 4 though. I couldn't just give it that solid 4. But it does get a strong rating for where it sits. I'm going to go 3.8 because I like more than I don't like. I love the theme. I love the era that they're setting it in. I love the phone call concept. I love all of that. I think it's all really, really gravy. It all works. Scott Derickson, Ethan Hawke, you're clearly a good pair. Sinister was excellent. I really liked Sinister. This movie is a good movie. My only problem is that I can see down the road you're going to milk it. Blumhouse sometimes does this, not all the time, but they sometimes come up with this fantastic concept of like doing something and then we'll just tweak it to be different, we'll set it in a different kind of genre, twist it on its head, and that's what we're going to do. I think this will become a franchise. I think this will get milked to death. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's a 1 and done, maybe a 2 and done. Don't over-egg this. You've done a good job of this. The Black Phone is a movie that I believe in 5 to 10 years we will be looking back on as a little bit of a horror/thriller classic. I do think that's where it's going to sit. Time's going to tell on it. People are going to find it, and it's going to find its audience, which is brilliant to say in this day and age of Marvel movies everywhere, superheroes everywhere. I think this film is a genre movie that people are going to pick up on. So yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go 3.5 to a 3.8. It's a strong rating. You should definitely watch it. Give it your time if and when you get a minute. He's a truly sinister character, but you kind of have this feeling that, you know what, it's hard not to feel a little bit sorry for the guy, even though what he's doing is just mental and disgusting and depraved. But you kind of want to know what it is that's got him there. And you get little hints, little tidbits, but they don't want to tell you too much. Good film. You should definitely watch it. Give it your time. I'm out.